Welcome, welcome. We're back, continuing the MSQ. I've checked how far we are, and we have a long way to go for MSQ still. At least in AR. My goodness. Those AR is a lot. Welcome back, Honored Scion. We who knew of your mission have been most anxious to see you return. The elder seats here await you. Oh yeah, I've checked how far I am in MSQ. Like halfway through post. Long way to go still.
You are returned to us, dear friend, and none the worse for bearing the heavy burden which I did press upon you. Most glad am I of this. I am informed that your efforts to negotiate a peace with Lord Ramu ended in conflict. Pray tell me, what befell?
Oh, you see, he wanted to fight.
Ramu made trial of you? I fear there is truth to his claim. It is the darkness within us that attracts the darkness without. It cannot be denied that misfortune follows man. For evidence, one need only look to the conflict brewing in Cartano, or to the rising flood of refugees. Our shared struggle against the Empire should have served to seal our union. Yet the ties which bind the Alliance strain under the weight of gross self-interest. As the scars of the calamity begin to fade, so too does our sense of common purpose.
Like a common problem, even outside this world.
Yet now is scarce the time to forget our shared responsibility. If this new-sprung realm is to survive beyond its infancy, it must needs be nurtured by all. Eorzea must be as one, yet I fear that dream is still far off. On behalf of the people of Gridania and the elementals both, I thank you for all that you and your fellow scions have done. Full oft have I been compelled to look to you for aid of late, and offered all too little in return. As leader of this nation, I shall endeavor to prove a more worthy ally to your cause henceforth.
I don't even know how to provide that.
Lord Ramu has departed, yet the keening of this ill wind grows no less insistent. Voices of the forest, pray speak and I shall listen. What unseen evil begets this unease in my heart?
Is there only 4 of them? It seemed that Ida's appraisal of the situation held some merit after all. Yep, I should not be so swift to discount her intuition. Hello, chicken pet. I fancy my presence was more help than hindrance during our troubles with Life, but this time around, well, even I have my off day. Ingrid is very bird. I'm trying to be useful. One of his like main incident are very, very instant. Trying to be a burden. Even more so after what happened in the Praetorium. You should have seen Maxio when we got back to Little Solus. Grateful is an understatement. I thought he was going to shake Papalimo's hand off. Oh. Thus ends another daunting mission. Hey, Hiccup. I'd hope Lord Ramu could be persuaded before it's alone. But nonetheless, I can only admire the adroitness with which he responded to our primal sudden challenge. And it seems that Urianger too was pleased with the outcome. What say you, Hikaru? Shall we gather back at the Rising Stones and ponder the lessons of the day? Where'd Urianger go? One moment. Well, that was weird. Someone decided to call me and not say anything. Quite rude. Alright, people swapped position. Duty calls. Well, no matter the task, I have faith you will see it through to the end. Take care, Hikaru. I look forward to hearing all about your adventures when you're... Where are we going? I don't even know where we're being sent. I tried substituting native ingredients several times, but the result was but a pale imitation of authentic Domin cuisine. Hey, Miss Hikaru. What's a Ramu? It's cute and fluffy like a horse bird. No. Mayhap one day we shall accompany you into the field, but for now we must see to less glamorous duties. Speaking with Master Quiltanet has opened my eyes to a great many things. I know the world outside Doma was so strange and... Miss Hikaru, is it true you're going to go adventuring? So jealous. From before, Ramu? Worried about leaving us alone? Don't be. While the Archons are away, Hoary Boulder will keep the little ones safe. Might have been before we had to. Welcome back, Hikaru. Word of your momentous encounter with Lord Ramu precedes you. I would fain share news of my own, but Urianger's discovery must take precedence. Upon witnessing your defeat of the Lord of Levin, our learned companion was struck with a profound insight regarding the nature of the reality. Let us assemble and discuss his observations together.
If everyone is ready, let us begin.
Does Urianger still stay at Waking Sands? Does he have to make this travel every time? Oh, I guess. Teleport.
Urianger, the floor is yours.
As all here assembled now know, in its final hours as our Order's headquarters, the Waking Sands did play host to a most unexpected visitor. I speak of the Ascian clad in white, Elidibus. Unwelcome though his presence was, his words that day did serve to confirm a truth long suspected, that the Ascians are eternal beings, to whom physical destruction is as a temporary inconvenience.
In the intervening time, Urianger and I have striven to discover a means by which the Ascians might more permanently be slain.
And 'tis my belief that we have found the thread that will allow us to unravel the twisted skein of their existence. In the moments prior to Leviathan's most recent manifestation, the Sahagin elder who summoned him was observed to undergo some manner of ascension. The etheric readings taken by Y'shtola at the time of this transfiguration have proven most enlightening.
The disruption to the flow of ether was sudden and dramatic. So tangible was the agitation, I scarce had need of my goggles.
The significance of Y'shtola's readings might better be understood in the context of mine own, taken at the instant of the Lord of Levin's demise. Unlike the Primal, the Sahagin was not subject to etheric dissipation.
Before discussing our new discoveries, it may benefit us all to recall what we know of etheric behavior. Let us begin at what some might call the end. When we who dwell in the material realm die, our spirits dissolve into the flow of ether and are returned to the ethereal realm. In turn, the restless energy which suffuses that plane streams back into our world, giving rise to new life.
'Tis as the heavens did decree, the way of all mortal souls. Twixt this world and the next do the ethereal currents swirl, bearing the very essence of life. Thus doth the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth continue unabated.
Primals behave somewhat differently. In order to manifest and then maintain a physical presence in this realm, they must consume vast quantities of ether, most often in the form of crystals. Though they may seem to live, their flesh is but ether given shape. Thus, a defeated primal leaves behind no broken corpse. Rather, the essence of its form seeps back into the land whence it came, and the energy of its shattered spirit is called back to the ethereal realm.
And there it waiteth, till next the prayers of the faithful do draw it forth from the sea of ether, to take their offering of crystals and make for itself a new body.
Which brings us on to the third group, the so-called immortals. They exist in a manner all their own.
Quite. Even as the Sahagin elder fell to the Admiral's musket shot, I witnessed the release of an ethereal cloud, which immediately took possession of a nearby minion.
A soul that dissipateth not upon the death of the flesh.
The secret of life everlasting, and in the claws of a Sahagin no less. But I wonder, what would happen to one of these obstinate spirits should there be no suitable host for it to claim?
If mortal death entails a return to the ethereal realm, it seems doubtful that the soul of an immortal would venture there.
Nay, it merely withdraweth the distance, unto the shore of the ethereal sea, perchance, but no further.
Yes, it exists in neither this realm nor the next, abiding instead in the space that lies between them. The Ascians took control of Thancred by means of a crystal of darkness, an artifact which, if our theories are correct, serves as a gateway to the place I have just described.
I was hoping people had forgotten about that.
I am sorry, my friend.
For a mercy, the weary road of our research hath brought us unto an answer.
The Sahagin ascended to an immortal state, but he did not possess a crystal of darkness through which to flee this realm. Thus was he consumed by Leviathan. If we could entrap the spirits of defeated Ascians in like manner, and thereby deny them resurrection,
therein lieth the path to victory. Thou art most perceptive, my lady. Only when we have trapped the bodiless soul within an ethereal prison can we hope to defeat its unnatural constancy. Thus might even an eternal paragon be consigned to oblivion.
Does that mean we could see that whole thing? Like, that wasn't just presentation's sake. They could also see the whole thing too. How did they even do that? There's no projector in here. Anything like that? How the heck?
These feats are, of course, far easier said than done. At present, we lack a viable means to entrap and extinguish an Asian soul. Yet, I believe it to be possible. The pieces of the puzzle lie before us. We have but to put them together.
I will depart at once to convene with the sages of Sharlayan. Together shall we divine the steps by which our goals may be achieved.
I have the utmost faith in you, Archon.
Beg pardon, antecedent, but I would raise one final matter. Even now, a Sharlayan survey party seeketh to ascertain the fate of the students of Baldessian. Their findings shall soon be known to us. Though you harbor feelings of dread, I bid you surrender not to sorrow, but abide instead in hopeful prayer.
I shall, Archon. Thank you.
The Lord of Livin is returned to the Aether, as was Leviathan before him. They're 13. 1, 2, 4, 5. Can't really see the other part. Inferno, Vortex, Crag, Whirl, and Levin. All have now been humbled by the brink of light. I think there is start. I tell. The limitless potential of man. Eidolon's servant grows mightier by the day. Yet she prospers at a great cost to her mistress, whose strength is all finite. 7 times have the masses survived the rejoining, but their souls are growing weak. Wan. Yet even as it enervates, the ardor empowers our master. All that remains is to nurture the strength of the gifted to forge the final key. No taco. My cat just likes to meow. What? He only meows when I don't look at him. Oh, my cat. And that is a task to which we bend our every effort. Okay, give me a moment. My cat is meowing way too much. 1 second. I don't know if he just wants head scratches or something, but He becomes a lot quieter when I scratch him. Pets. Divine seeds were ever wont to quicken in Eorzea's fertile soil. We need only lead men to the field. By their eager hands shall a new deity rise. That which was shattered shall be made anew, and the one true God shall come again. I think there was 13 around him, around the Ludibus. It's kind of hard to count all of them, but it looked like it was 13. Which is kind of relevant in the future. Nice to see that was there since the beginning. Now the matter of Ramu has, for the present, been put to rest. There's something I would show you, Karu. Is a letter of thanks signed by the leaders of the Eorzean Alliance, acknowledging the Scion's tireless service to the realm. It mentions in particular the names of all the defeated primals: Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, Good King Bulb, Leviathan, and now Ramu. Needless to say, there's only one among our number to have faced them all. And though these words of gratitude were addressed to our order as a whole, I feel that they were meant for you above all others. I too must offer my heartfelt thanks for all that you have done. In the course of your duty, you have never once failed to answer my call to arms. You're a true hero, Hikaru, and Eorzea is much the safer for your presence. Pray do not misunderstand me. I said safer, not safe. I know only too well that we can ill afford to lower our guard. The Ascians may be relied upon to sow chaos in this realm, till such time as they are forced to stop. Why, even without their encouragement, you may be assured that man would foment strife on his own. That is to say nothing of the best beast tribes. Unless we learn to live in harmony, the primals, too, will return to plague us again and again and again. And yet, despite all of this, your deeds serve to inspire the people, to give them hope for a better tomorrow, and there is no greater gift. That we have the courage to strive for what might otherwise seem an impossible peace. We own in no small part to the dangers you have faced on our behalf. The people you have won over for our cause. So. Our list of enemies has ever been long, but think of all the allies with whom we are now blessed. Of the sylphs of Little Solus, who wish not of conflict. Of Alize, who strives to unearth the terrible secrets of the calamity. And then there is Sid and the Fellowship of Noah, racing to unlock the mysteries of ancient Alag, that we might be spared of the horror of another. Of course, when speaking of our greatest allies, we must not forget those closest to us, by which I mean our fellow Scions. Thanks to their many and varied talents, our order is uniquely equipped to combat the far-reaching corruption of the Ascians, and combat it we shall. Your enthusiasm is truly heartwarming. Given our embarrassing wealth of allies, I trust it will not include unduly if I absent myself. Alphano, I take it the troubles in Ul'dah no longer require your attention. There are yet some rumblings of discontent, but the air of simmering violence is largely dissipated. This report such that I stand before you now. That, and to speak with you concerning the new organization we discussed. I have a message for you from LA. Ahem. You recall the refugee girl, one whose parents were missing. They were found unharmed. You wish me to pass on her thanks. Why, Alphino? Am I understanding that you made the effort to remember the poor girl's name? I look forward to reading all about her in your report. I do hope you left nothing. Hikaru, you might have been away from Eminence Toll for some time now, I believe. Might I suggest that you put the affairs of the realm to one side for the moment and take this opportunity to reacquaint yourself with the town? Which reminds me, one of the Doman children recently inquired as to your whereabouts. Yozen was his name. I believe he has some small matter he wishes to share with you. Why not oblige him with a visit? Everyone, so much. Look, it's Miss Hikaru. She's back from her adventures. We heard you're fighting primals, and that they're some of the strongest enemies you could ever face. I wish I could have seen you in battle. Anyway, we all want to be heroes too, so we finally formed our very own Dolmen Adventures Guild to protect all the Dolmens. Oh, do you think you could train us today, Miss Hikaru? Maybe you could show us how you fought the primals. What's all this commotion then? Mr. Boulder and Mr. Coltonet. Did you know that Miss Hikaru is back? So it would seem. Welcome home, Hikaru. My companion and I but recently became full members of the Scions, and I believe proper introductions have yet to be made. I am known as Hoary Bold, and this bookish fellow is Coltonet. Though we remain largely unproven as adventurers, we have taken it upon ourselves to instruct the Dolmen youngling the arts of combat. Oh, I told you, Mr. Boulder, we're not younglings anymore. We are adventurers. We were just asking Miss Hikaru if she could give us some special training. I think we're ready to hunt monsters alongside her. You? Well, you've certainly been diligent with your drills. I'm afraid the fiends of Mortona are still ever so slightly too dangerous for you. I have a counter-proposal. What if I were to cross swords with Hikaru? A demonstration of skills at arms, if you will. Ori, if I didn't know you better, and I do, I'd say you're merely seeking to test yourself against the legend. Getting called out by his friend. Well, mayhap I am. But what matters the motive when the children stand to learn so much from them? What say you, Hikaru? Would you consent to spar with me? Hoorah! We have a tournament. Come on, everyone. We must prepare our gear for an outing. Do try not to disappoint them. Have faith, Coltonet. I shall summon every last ounce of my strength to make this a worthy contest. The fields to the east of town should prove suitable for our purpose. I very much look forward to our bout. Higiri has told me about a dolmen tea of the most remarkable fragrance, but I should not give it to taste it for myself. So turn we to heroes of conscience unstained. May all stop and not to what lost. Oh, hello again. Philomene has been teaching me some Aeolian ballads. But I hail from a faraway land, and there's something about music that truly transcends borders. Not a wrong statement. Not a wrong statement. Just as some children possess wisdom beyond their years, some adults are little more than children writ large. Remember this, and it should save you a measure of frustration in your dealings with those around you. I dare say they heard you talking away. Ida and Thancred dashed out not moments ago. Will they ever start acting their age? No comment. I do have a comment on that, but not currently. A spoiler. Since becoming a scion, I had much opportunity to hear news of your epic deed. I must confess, then, that my excitement rivals that of the children at the prospect of seeing action firsthand. As we left the Rising Stones, Mr. Thancred asked us where we were going. I told him we were off to watch you and Mr. Boulder fight, and then he looked very surprised. I hope we haven't made him cross. Isakaru is here. Let the battle begin. We had a master of lessons back in Tulky, and the way he taught us was very different from Mr. Boulder. I'm not sure which way is better, but I think I like them both. Ah, the neutral stance. Is sparring dangerous? I don't want to see anyone else being hurt. It was good of you to agree to this, Hikaru. I trust you are ready to begin. I mean, not that dangerous. Very well, let us not keep the younglings waiting any longer. Ahem, Hori. Are you certain you wish to fight her alone? That is Hikaru you face. What better way to test my mettle? Pray allow me to attempt the first round unaided. After all, 'twas this hero's legend that led me to join the Scions to begin with. Without Hikaru to inspire my efforts, I would not be half the warrior I am today. Your point is well made, but remember, this is for the children's sake as well as your own. They appear the contest will end too swiftly. I'll add my spells to your blade war. Hello, you haven't begun yet, have you? Ida, what? Who are all these people? When I heard about your sparring match, I told everyone I could find. Thought you could use a crowd to cheer you on. Yes, and there's still more to come. When I mentioned Hikaru's name, the reaction was quite enthusiastic. While my own popularity seems to be a sickly shade in comparison. You best claim victory, bringer of lights. Your burgeoning reputation is at stake. Well, our teacher won't be beaten so easily. He's a master swordsman. He can win, Mr. Boulder. Aw, the kids are sweet. We shall soon see. On your guard. I didn't even get through my Swipcast. Just ate my swift cast. Kinda just fell over. You have bested me. I yield. That was incredible. She beat them both at the same time. They kind of just fell over in like 2 spells. We knew you couldn't lose, Hikaru. None can defeat the Guardian of Eorzea. Now I see why they send you to deal with the primals. I have much work to do if I'm ever to attempt the same. Those poor blokes. They just want a fair challenge. Impressive as always, Hikaru. It's ever a pleasure to win a spectacle of your martial prowess. And judging by the smiles on these many faces, they, too, appreciate the hard-won strength that keeps the perils of the realm at bay. Guardian of Eorzea. Yes, that is a most fitting title. You recall when we first met. It was at the memorial service for the Battle of Cartano. At the time, I was yet attempting to understand this land of Persia. I sought to grasp the reason why grandfather willingly sacrificed himself to protect it. I shall speak plainly. My initial impressions were less than favorable. Dire problems abounded, and yet the effort I saw expended toward their solution was haphazard, half-hearted. I thought Eorzeans of foolish and childish people. Considering the shambles their home was in, I would not have been surprised if some had chosen to swear allegiance to Gaius and the order he proposed to enforce. Legatus' single-minded military invasion precluded any such switching loyalties. Were it not for a desire to continue grandfather's legacy, I would have abandoned the realm to its fate. The threats were too many, the nation too self-involved. It was you who convinced me the salvation of Eorzeea was possible. It was you who taught me, through countless acts of bravery, that what my grandsire sought to preserve was not the land, nor its history, nor any. It was the people. These wonderful, often infuriating, stubborn people that suffer blow after terrible blow, only to drag themselves back to their feet to face another. Though he never put such feelings into words, I believe grandfather's admiration for this inextinguishable courage grew into a wish to aid Eorzea and its inhabitants, a wish that has now become. I too will endeavor to take up the mantle of Guardian of Eorzea and champion these people who toil towards a better world. Our cause, however, is not a simple one. The troubles that plague us are of a scale that cannot be solved by scions of the dawn. No, what is needed to tackle the root of primal threats and effectively counter the scheme as seen. The new expanded organization operates beyond the limitations of nations and borders. If you would aid me in building such an organization, and pray let us continue this discussion back within the walls of Rising of the rising stones. You know, that's probably shorter than 8 seconds of flying. Probably. But I'm lazy. Your bout with Hoary Boulder was more stirring than 100 lines of my most passionate poetry. Mayhaps I should arrange a sparring match of my own. Can't wait for Alpha to start his new company. I love making new friends. I wish Ida were not so eager to look to the future when we have so many problems. I fear Ida's boundless optimism is beginning to affect my better judgment. And your tendency to triumph against the most terrible of foes is certainly not helping matters. No, this won't do at all. And then I'll have to... Oh, hello Hikaru. If you don't mind, I'm terribly busy at the moment. Okay. Our dolmen farming methods have been adopted here on the frontier. It's too early yet to know if they will prove effective. It's not enough that I am here for my daughter. I must do what little I can to help you all succeed in monumental tasks. This place has become as a hive, and its bees flit about in constant motion. Perhaps a soothing pot of tea coax one or two to alight and take a moment's rest. Hikaru, I must thank you again for agreeing to our bouts. I must thank the gods 'twas not a duel to the death. I will, however, cherish the lesson of each scrape and bruise as I work to better my swordplay. Mr. Boulder fought well, but he was no match for you, Miss Hikaru. Just you wait. One day I'll be good enough to knock you from the top of your mountain. Oh, good luck. We need to decide who in our adventurers guild will do what. I'm fairly sure Yozen will have to be the sword fighter. He always has to be in the thick of the action. Mr. Boulder is sore and beaten, but he said he'd return straight to his training. I don't think he likes to lose. I like the way Mr. Coultonet fought. No swords or fists. I wonder if I studied hard, would I be able to cast spells like that too? How do people learn to cast spells like that? I actually never took that into account. Thought about it. I thought the idea foolish at first, but it seems that sparring match well served its purpose. I can't wait to return to my studies and see to improve upon. My people's spirit were thoroughly crushed by the loss of our homeland, but thanks to your courage and generosity, I see their inner flames once flicker back to life. I too have felt my strength of will make a gradual return. A lot of mentions though. Doma and Alamigo. Very early. Thank you for coming, Hikaru. The world shifts and alters, and we, my friend, must ever be one step ahead of the chaos. What I propose is the formation of a new organization, a group that shall pave the way for a truly united Eorzea. Pray forgive if I tread over old ground, but let's first speak of a grand plan. Since the advent of the 7th Astral Era, the leaders of the three nations have been deliberating over an accord that seeks to bring the disparate forces of Eorzea together into a single entity. A realm-wide grand company. The military might of such an institution would be drawn from every corner of the land and directed against threats that no single nation could hope to overcome. Yet while the purpose of this hypothetical organization is undisputed, the logistics of its formation have become the source of endless debate. And the longer these discussions continue, the more I sense the impetus toward an unification draining. Thus have I been campaigning for the creation of what might be considered a trial company. It will be on a much smaller scale than what we hope to eventually achieve, capable of the same manner of unrestricted operation accorded to the Scions. It is my hope that the successful utilization of such a force will lend momentum to the lagging deliberations. Also, being a primarily military outfit, I mean to assuage fears of its misuse by placing the fledgling organization under the authority of the Scions work tirelessly to protect Eorze and its people. But as you yourself have witnessed with the refugee revolt, there are limitations to what we can eat, what even we can achieve. With this new company under the Scion's command, however, we will be capable of responding to a wider range of difficulties without straining or overtaxing your formidable talents. The goals of my proposed organization and those of the Scions are ultimately identical, a point conceded by all concerned. But before I can move forward with establishing this precursor to the true, border-spanning grand company, it is yet necessary that I visit the three leaders and gain their official approval. A tiresome and time-consuming task, which is why I would ask that you accompany me on the journey and attend to the business of recruiting our inaugural members while I am otherwise engaged with bureaucratic formalities. Thank you. It is reassuring indeed to know that the Bringer of Light and her discerning eye will be selecting our future. Our final destination will be Limsa. Or our first destination will be Limsa. Let us rendezvous at Bulwark Hall. I didn't know it was us that chose them, actually. People to join. I thought it was just people that didn't have a place to join. They just joined this one because who else are they going to join? Ah, there you are. I'm ready to ascend to the bridge and speak with Admiral Blowfishwin. While the Admiral and I are finalizing permissory boundaries, signing parchment, we would have you begin the recruitment process in earnest. I have, of course, endeavored to spread the word of our organization through various channels, but I believe a personal approach will reach many who may otherwise remain ignorant of the opportunity. As for potential members, it is no matter should they already be pledged to another institution, only that they are willing to lend their strength when the situation demands it. And you needn't range into the countryside. The upper decks alone are populated with sufficient candidates to serve the purpose. Once you are satisfied with your recruiting efforts, meet me at the airship ticket counter that we might prepare for the next leg of our journey. It's a mix of both then. Some people Alphano picked up and some people we pick up. I just always assumed it was Alphano that did the whole. And we were just like going finding people after he did find them. Eh? Who in the bloody elves do you think you're talking to, Drylander? I'm a pirate, not some sodding knight in shining plate. You're looking for some self-righteous fop trying to knock on that dandy caravan door. What the hell did you just say? Was that English? I didn't know being a pirate meant you can't speak English. My goodness. A precursor to United Aor's Grand Company. While I do admire the scope of your ambition, my responsibility here at Naldik and Vimeles keep me close to the forge. I have not the time to be trapezing hither and yon across the realm. Should you require my skills as an armorer, however, I might be willing to accept some special commissions. You know, I never realized or wondered, yes, why armor and blacksmith level differently. I feel like they generally same thing. We're also in the same guild. Well, if it ain't Hikaru, I'd not forget a venturer brave enough or daft enough to seek the shortcut into Titan's bedchamber. You remember old Riol, don't you? Formerly of the captain of Company of Heroes. 3 whistles at Bronze Lake. Ain't often I drag me arse out of Limsa for a drink. But I'm right glad I did. How fare ye these days? You're looking to put together a new crew. Up to your work. Sounds like a right lark, it does. Alrighty lass, count me in. The heroes may have gone their separate ways, but I ain't ready to climb into me grave just yet. Well, that one's a good recruit. In the song. We are in the song. I'll go up to the Marauder's Guild. Master Alphanode's new organization. Yes, I've heard the formation of his trial company was in the offing. It is with regret, however, that I must decline your invitation. As commander of the Yellow Jackets, the protection of Limsa Lominsa must needs receive my full attention. An organization with freedom to operate with territorial impunity. I must say your proposal intrigues me, but the Krakens well know that there is a time to act and a time to watch. I'm afraid this trial company of yours falls into the latter company. So we only got one person. That was real. Honestly, not a bad recruit, in my opinion. Hikaru, your recruiting went well, I trust. I'm curious to how my proposal was received by the rough and ready folk of Limsa Lominsa. Ah, a member of the legendary Company of Heroes indicated his interest. Astonishing. I knew enlisting your aid was the right choice. Few could boast the acquaintance of such an elusive character. I too was successful in my task. The Admiral consented to sign all the documents requiring her approval. I can only hope that my visit with the Elder Seats here proceeds as smooth. We continue on to Gridania at your own pace. I shall wait your arrival at Nofukot. I believe this is cheaper. In which we'll skip this because the airship ones are all the same. I think. Just without. Oh, I don't even give you a cut. I thought they give you a cutscene, but less work for me. I'll take it. Under scale. My audience with the Elder Seats here is due to commence momentarily. I'll be grateful if you would once more see the task of recruitment here in Gridania. After you deem the well of potential candidates has run dry, let's rendezvous at the airship ticket counter as before. There's only 4 here. Laurentius. Traitor. Oh gods, can it truly be you? By what fickle fortune must the first face I see upon my release be yours? Eh, could it be that you don't remember me? It is I, Laurentius, man whose crime you exposed. I was a whaler and a regular patron at the Buscaron. Of course you do. I was beginning to wonder if jail had changed me more than I realized. Not that I have any particular wish to be recognized after my shameful conduct. The less said of my past, the better, I suppose. And what of you, adventurer? What business brings you to our Gridania? Recruiting, eh? And what is your policy on reformed convicts? As matters stands, the Wood Whalers will have naught more to do with me. This may just be the second chance I was looking for. Evidence told, you say. I shall leave at once. I'll not regret this. I promise you I'm a changed man. Out. Tis not often a guild officer such as myself gets recruited. This company of yours certainly sounds have some promise, but its duties appear less than focused. I must refuse your invitation until such time your organization is more organized. Not wrong. Can't say she is wrong. Very not focused organization. You would offer this old man a place in your company of champions. I am both puzzled and honored by your invitation. Pray forgive me, young, but I cannot accept. I've sworn to abide here for whatever scant years, and bear responsibility for the evils my lady has wrought in the land. I can't really say that was his fault. Grandfather, you must call it a day. Let us return to the guild and rest ere your tormented back gives up on you for good. I'm terribly sorry. We were just... Oh, Hikaru, is it? It has been some time since our paths crossed outside of Copperbell Mines. Why, you're barely more than a novice adventurer. Look how far you've come. Mother Mion tells me 'twas you who felled the fearsome black wolf. And now you seek stout-hearted souls to fill the ranks of a new order. Well, your cause is undoubtedly just, and my old companions here would be much relieved to see me in good hands. Yes, I'll do it. That's the very thing I spent my entire adventuring career working on. I shall join your company just as soon as I've seen this Isildur safely. However you pronounce that name. And we got 2 people in Gridania. But one of them I don't have much hope for. What news, Hikaru? For my part, the elder Caesar was most amenable to our requirements. Former wood whaler and a seasoned adventurer. Our company will not lack for variety, that much is certain. An interesting harvest indeed. Shall we strike into Ul'dah whilst the iron is hot? Let us meet at the Royal Promenade. Endeavor to conclude our remaining business. Our journey comes to draw us to a close. Off the limbs are Ul'dah. Okay, these are all the same, actually. Oh. I think it's a hustling script, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember Uldah's location name. Let's say I come to very often. Ul'dah, the gilded city where one's fortune defines one's worth. I hope some manner of fortune is with us, and that this final leg proves as successful as. Might I suggest descending to the lower levels before beginning your recruitment efforts? I do not think the Sultana will take kindly to us poaching from her personal guard. Let's meet back here at the promenade when our respective tasks are complete. Good hunting, Hikaru. Not wrong. I wouldn't like it if we took the people from... What's it called? Alton's Point. Oh, thank you for stopping by, dude. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Wait, you're the lady who came to Little Alamigo looking for that masked devil. Who knows what might have happened if you hadn't. I'd probably be dead. And a whole lot more of my friends besides. You're such fools. Oh, and thank you for the 15, 6, and the 9 bits. Nice. Thank you so much, Akute. Appreciate you. Any road, that disaster really got me thinking about our homeland, and about the outsider who saved us from ourselves. I realized how easily I'd been manipulated, how to make myself a more worldly man, so here I am. A new company of champions, you say, will take me to all corners of the realm. Sounds exactly like the kind of opportunity I need. And don't worry, I'm not the same stripling you met in Little Alamigo. I prepared myself to fight the evil I now know is out there. Mildred was one of the children of Alamigo, quote-unquote leader. I brought the youth out. A couple of them got killed. Is what it is. Oh, what a happy coincidence. You remember me, perchance. I am Orson of the Church... Orson, maybe? Of the Church of Saint Adama Landama. Thank you again for your timely rescue. I must also thank you for preventing the fraudulent priest from preying on dry bones less fortunate. A most upsetting business. Are you here with your companion Thancred? Wasn't it? Ah, this new companion you seek then. Your proposed organization sounds like a powerful force for good, but my place is at the church. Children. Nevertheless, I wish you well in this. I mean, I didn't expect the nun to follow us. That seemed like a hopeful task. I'm sorry, you wish to recruit me? Is this some new-fashioned manner of propositioning a lady? I'm afraid you're wasting your time. This lady is already spoken for. Good day to you. So I think we only got one so far. It's not cool. A company that looks to cure the ills of the realm entire. Listen, friend, I can scarce bear the complaints of the next stall over little on the conundrums of a neighboring nation. Got it. Max patient. Aye, you'd be surprised what rumors drift down to Pearl Lane. I know of this glorious new company of yours, just how far I'd go to avoid getting involved in. Whispers on the street say your organization is funded by corrupt by syndicate. If you think you're recruiting for a just cause, then you're a bigger fool. Okay, fool. So, very interesting line they put there. Wow. Wow. Extremely interesting line. Holy. Did not expect him to put that there. How fared you, Hikaru? What hidden gems did the Street of Fool offer up to your unrelenting gaze? A single Alamegan youth. Well, you've certainly given us an admirable start, even if our ranks are yet somewhat thin. In these troubled years following the calamity, talk of Eorzea's salvation must seem akin to grasping at clouds. But there are those who have risen to the challenge. Nonetheless, and the hope that inspires these people was born in no small part from victories you yourself have won. Thank you, Hikaru. I will not squander the precious gift you have placed. These recruits will become the foundation of. And yes, we are free to begin, as you have no doubt surmised. Sultana also graced my trial company with her blessing. Our first wave of recruitment is over, the documents signed, and the finances secured. There is naught to prevent me from taking them. You are concerned by the syndicate's involvement, as was I. Thus was the origin of every coin of their contribution carefully scrutinized and recorded. This organization will not be built on corruption. Naturally, I would prefer not to rely upon outside sources at all, but even my family's substantial coffers cannot sustain a venture of this magnitude. And as for the rumors and doubt surrounding this enterprise, well, such things shall plague us until the company has had a chance to prove its worth. It will not be an easy process, but we will earn people's trust one success at a time. Speaking of time, we should waste no more. Let us return to the Rising Stones and lay the first stone for a united Aeor. Yeah, I did not expect them to talk about syndicate money like that. It's a very, very, very interesting.
Tell me, General, what think you of Alfino's bold endeavor?
I think it is more than bold, Your Grace. His organization would pave the way for a united Eorzea. Well do I understand his impatience, since facing the common threat of the Ultima weapon, our nations have seemed farther apart, not closer together. Considering the many problems we face, should we not be glad that someone else is taking the initiative?
We have all pledged our cooperation, yet the grumbling continues behind closed doors. Ul'dah is not alone in her duplicity. I myself have doubts as to the good this organization will achieve. With the inclusion of the finest soldiers of the 3 grand companies, it promises to be a fearsome military body. But whom will it serve? Even under the watchful gaze of the Scions, it is not unthinkable that such a force could perpetrate a great wrong. Does it not concern you that a significant proportion of its financial backing came from the coffers of the Syndicate? That those unprincipled worms might forge this extraordinary gathering of warriors into a private army?
I have trust in the Scions, Your Grace. They have spared us no end of trouble at the hands of the Primals. If they seek reinforcements, I deem it unwise to deny them. As for their finances, full many gave generously. And though our nobles proffered a sizable sum, their coin did not spill from the pockets of Lolorito and his cronies. And what of the presence of our stalwart adventurer friend in this endeavor? I doubt the Warrior of Light would betray our cause.
Yes, there is that, I suppose. Yet I have known people to change. Whether we will or no, the events of the age hurl us this way and that, like a dust devil skipping across the sands. Cannot be done about Telechi?
I have explored all avenues available to us, Your Grace. But as Ul'dah law now stands, we lack the evidence to convict him of any crime. To arrest him on spurious grounds would only play into his hands.
He has all but committed treason, and yet we can do nothing? Then what good our government? What worth the royal house? How deplorable this mockery of justice!
Have faith, Your Grace. It is not over.
I did feel bad about Farnana for all this. For all intents and purposes, she feels like more of a figurehead rather than a sultana with power. That is how the government of Ul'dah has been structured. Quite unfortunate. That was for years. That's not a journey I soon wish. But I cannot pause to rest. The culmination of all our efforts is at hand. I must see to the preparation for the inaugural ceremony. Thank you for allowing me to monopolize your services, Hikaru. I'm certain the antecedent will be relieved to see free for others. Greetings, Hikaru. Alphino tells me all is in place to begin his trial company. The Scions shall certainly be grateful to have support of such an. The inaugural ceremony is set to take place here at the Rising Stones. Tataru is cooperating with Alphino to see that all is in readiness. I'm afraid the recruits themselves have been left to their own devices. Quite a number of new faces have arrived in Revenant Hall of late. I wonder if Slaffborn might not find himself overwhelmed. Would you speak with him to see if there's aught he requires? Heretical assessment. MSQ. Interesting MSQ. What can I do for you, Hikaru? I thought you'd have your hands full helping out with the new armed Scions. Ah, I barely noticed your recruits arrive. It was barely a trickle compared to the flood of treasure hunters we have passed through here every day. Well, I appreciate your offer to aid. 'Tis more your burden that concerns me. I'm told this trial company will answer directly to the antecedent. I trust that means less work for you in the long run. Laughborn, the shipment. We couldn't. Godswoman, what befall? We were bringing a shipment to Revenant's Toll, provisions earmarked for the frontier effort. But just as we sought to cross over into Mordona, we were set upon by brigands. I believe they have been heretics. There were many, too many. We only escaped with our lives by abandoning the supplies. Pray forgive us. There is naught to forgive. Provisions can be replaced. The smart soldiers are hard to find. Take a rest and I'll have someone along to tend to those wounds. What to do? If heretics are involved, then this is like to be more than a case of simple thievery. Ishgard will need to be warned. Once the supplies or House Forton. We collected the provision from Camp Dragonhead proper. Understood. I shall see that they are apprised of this development. Hikaru, were you not in good terms with the Knights of House Forton? I'll be sending them a missive immediately, but I would also have you travel there and offer your condolences. Yes, I realize I contradict my earlier hopes to lighten your load, but I need someone who can bring this incident to a satisfactory conclusion. Our favorable relations with Ishgard are far too important to risk half measure. Thank you for your understanding. I'm certain Lord Horshafont will be glad of going back to Ishgard. I guess I'll just go back and pick up. I thought you could pick up some gear from Mordona as well. I can't find a weapon. Yet. Weapons are big up. Always pick those up. Well, well, if it isn't my fine friend Hikaru Kari, would you care for a plate of roast karakul, some mulled wine? No? Ah, I see you've come into my hall merely to escape the biting cold. I was in fact on the verge of opening an urgent message from Revenant's School. I expect the timing of your arrival is...
The incident with the new frontier hands? No, no, you need not elaborate. I have been following their progress with no small amount of interest. Brave men and women all. They do our nation a great service. The existence of a fortified outpost in Mordona will do much to dissuade the Empire from trespassing on Kurthus soil. Right glad am I that you have chosen to lend your support to this endeavor. Never let it be said that House Fortom does not acknowledge the efforts of her allies, or her debts. 'Twas in the spirit of gratitude that I arranged for sundry supplies to be delivered to Revenant's Toll. That the shipment should chance to be waylaid by heretics is poor fortune indeed. Poor fortune, I say, yet not without precedent. If you would know the truth of it, these incorrigible villains grow more organized with each passing day. This new unity of purpose we attribute to their leader, the Lady Iceheart. But though I have devoted significant resources to the task of identifying this woman, we have yet to learn so much as her birth name. What we do know is that the heretics speak of Iceheart in reverent tones, and would gladly embrace death rather than betray her. Such loyalty is rare indeed, and I fear to imagine what so committed a collective might achieve. The brigands have not yet been so brazen as to risk direct confrontation here in Dragonhead. Some few of their number have, however, been sighted not far to the west of here, and with ever-increasing regularity. A visit to Whitebrim Front may bring you the answers you seek. Will you brave the snows, knowing what implacable foes may lie in wait? Halone's blessings be upon you! Though I take no pride in the admission, many of mine own countrymen are not so well suited as you adventurers to dealing with such foes. Were they dragons, it might be otherwise. But truly, I could not wish for a finer ally. You have done much for my house in the past, and I have no doubt but that I shall have cause to celebrate your deeds again ere long. Should you learn aught of value, pray return to me forthwith. A warm hearth and a warmer welcome shall be waiting for you.
Realize what the heck's beside his cup? Jar of pickles, but I can't really tell. Is it really hello? I don't know if they ever... Actually, they probably do. They have to, never sword. Why they don't? Sword and... Oh, fuck. Cultural mod. Hikaru, is there aught you would ask of me? Pray speak plainly. I'm a man of action and honeyed work. On the trail of a band of thieving heretics, quite a fury, but you do seem destined to cross paths with those villains. I must confess then, the sad truth that the wilds hereabouts have indeed grown thick in fair number. They strike swiftly without warning, and are canny enough to evade our trackers. But 'tis not merely their newfound organization that confounds us. Heretic themselves changed. I know not what manner of influence this ice heart we, but the men we face seem utterly lost in the grips of righteous fervor. It's an unsettling and unnatural zeal. Mayhaps you would care to question one of their recent victims. As fate would have it, your arrival came moments after a traitor was waylaid on. Crow found the unfortunate fellow lying senseless in the snow, and carried him to our infirmary. Assuming he has regained the use of his faculty, the merchant might recall some small detail that would aid you in your task. Back and forth. Tell you what happened? Why, yes, of course. I'm quite recovered enough for that. I need to help those cowardly blackhearts. While traveling my usual route, White Brim front, when a sudden blow sent me reeling. The next thing I knew, I was on the ground. Several heretics rifling through my cargo, arms, armor, pistols. They were taking everything. It was then that one of them noticed my bleary gaze and stalked over to better acquaint his head with his mace. Before darkness claimed me, however, I heard the word. Returned to Snowcloak. I dare say that is where they were hauling my goods, but you'll not catch me rushing off in pursuit. Tell me 'twas a miracle I survived at all, and I'll not trust my thick skull to save me a second time. No cloak. Dungeon. Guess it makes sense. Where in Curfus? Ah, draw your weapon, foul. Wait, I recognize you, adventurer. Here I come to seeking heretics, and we share a common purpose. We were on patrol when we chanced to cross one of their raiding parties, then pursued them here. By rights, we should have had them cornered in their ravine, yet they are gone, vanished like icy wraiths. You glimpse a woman atop a cliff. It be Iceheart herself come to sneer at our folly. Where did she disappear? The heretics must have discovered a passage through the frozen wall, some hidden tunnel that escaped our notice. We have not the men to risk further investigation. It would be best were returned to White Brim front. Their suspicions for Tromont. I love how they just put one line. Or not even saying a word. Voiced. I just expected. Or? Rather just a humph? Hikaru, it appears I owe you my thanks once again. The surviving knights spared no details in the court. The men you found near Snowcloak were some of my finest. They should be bested so handily. I fear I've woefully underestimated the threats these heretics pose. While I understand you might balk at the notion, I must ask that you put aside your mission. Consider the stolen provision lost for now. It would be ill-advised to blunder unprepared into what may well be the very lair of our enemy. They return to Dragonhead, form Lord Horshafon's discoveries. He will wish to plan contingency. As for Iceheart and her fanatics, the freezing heights of Snowcloak not to shield them from our justice for long. We just chase after.
Your return is most timely. Of their own accord, my thoughts had turned to your task and the progress thereof. I confess, my imaginings tended toward the grim and bloody. But you are here now, and I suspect such frivolous wonderings do little justice to the reality of your travails. Tell me, what did you learn of Iceheart? Indeed, and this transpired at Snowcloak? Of all the highlands, that towering wall has borne the worst of the region's brutal shift in climate. So inhospitable has Snowcloak become that we have still to survey the area in its entirety. Could its frozen heights conceal the heretics' hideaway? Mayhap a more robust reconnaissance effort is in order. Putting such considerations aside for the moment, we still know far too little of this Iceheart. That she is capable of commanding such a band of fanatics bespeaks natural authority, and no small measure of charisma. As much as I would like to fathom this mystery with you, the situation has grown beyond my personal purview. I am bound by duty to inform the Temple Knights and request that they bring this matter to its conclusion. Given the glowing reports the new commander has garnered thus far, I am certain that they can be relied upon to take appropriate action. Though Iceheart's true identity yet eludes us, you have provided us with a point from which to begin. Sometimes it takes but a single stone to prompt an avalanche. On the matter of the stolen provisions, I have already made arrangements for a second shipment to be sent to Revenant's Toll. I could not well allow such an honorable venture to be undermined by one miserable setback.
Where's your phone really is? Honorable. Hikaru, 'tis good to see you return to the pool. How fared you in a frozen way, Berthus? Whilst Fortpalms is to send us a second shipment. Must send thanks to Lord Horshafon's party. Yet even as our town grows in prosperity, I fear it will attract ever greater numbers of those who harm in the name of freedom and power. All of us, Alphanos included, must remain vigilant to such threats. Actually worse. Impressive. While you are away in Curtis, preparing for the inaugural ceremony, we're all but completed. Although Tataru does yet seem somewhat flustered. I've taken enough of your time. Why don't you head into the Rising Stone and see if your frantic receptionist can do with a hand? Like a real fresh sprout. I have a confession to make. I'm not a real fresh prop. Sorry to say. These parchments need to be sorted. And these documents. Why are they even here? Oh, I'm sorely tempted to file the lot in my waste paper basket. Ah, Hikaru. You startled me. You wish to lend a hand? Splendid. Would you be a dear hand these uniforms to recruits? They're scattered about Revenant's Toll, and I haven't the time to track them all down. The recruits know to don their garb immediately. Assemble here in the Rising Stones. You'll want to report directly back to Alphino if you wish to miss the ceremony. I wonder if the Scions will ever have a matching uniform. Well-funded organization is a well-dressed organization, I suppose. A betrayal. Hey. At least I came clean. Oh yeah, no, I'm not an... Those days have been well behind me. About 2 years. Yu Haze. Those who believe this company will see no riches are short-sighted fools. The giving of one's self is an investment in the future, and thus I assign my name to the cause. These uniforms were a splendid idea. Once our organization has made a name for itself, there shall be wealth aplenty in selling replica costumes to the adoring masses. Hey, it's just money. I thought it best to mimic my fellows here. I admit that I have no idea what we're doing. Ah, our new uniforms. I'm reminded of our induction into world wood whalers. What the heck is that mount? Isildur has at last retired from the adventurer's life, so I shall miss his wisdom and an irrepressible spirit. I'm excited to forge my own path forward. Ah yes, their uniform. Thank you. Truth be told, I thought of pledging myself to such a lofty organization. Somewhat in I miss. Hello there, lass. Looking for me, was he? I'd just given a whistle, but I'm not sure as I hear it amongst all the bustle. Oh ho, proper uniforms and all. This thing will cut off the blood to me head. Not to worry though. I'm sure she'll be fine after making a few adjustments. Little Alamigo could learn much from Revenant's Toll. That this town can be so alive and amidst such desolation. I've never worn aught quite so voluminous. Well, I'm sure I'll grow accustomed to the extra cloth in time. Ifemi? Ikarakari? God, I didn't expect to meet you strolling about the town. The tales of your primal battles were what inspired me to come to Revenant. It's an honor to receive this uniform from your hands. I shall wear it with pride. Ilberd. I don't believe we've met. I am Ilberd, and I will have the honor of leading my fellow recruits as captain. Much that I lose to the calamity, and I look forward to aiding others in their lives. The uniforms are a shrewd decision. There is no easier method of creating a common bond of what is, essentially, a band of strangers. Scarlet garb marks me as a proud member of the Maelstrom, a hardy defender of liberty. In truth, I stand for the betterment of the realm, and the thought of this new company is a fine opportunity to contribute on a scale. Oh ho! Now that's a striking shade of blue. Put alongside my maelstrom uniform. My wardrobe will certainly not lack color. They're allowed to be in different grand companies. This doesn't take precedent. Grand company. I don't think that's okay. I don't know. Yes, Sikaru? Tatar mentioned you were handing out. I assume you've now met Professor. Some few answered the call to put forth through the established grand companies and such. We're not yet an army, but there is much a small corps elite warriors can achieve. I mentioned I thought of a name of the company. It is my hope that it shall soon be known across the breadth of Eorzea. The moment of truth draws near, Hikaru. Once the last of the recruits have gathered, I shall make the official announcement.
Comrades, your presence here this day signifies the momentous choice that each of you has made. With your strength now pledged to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are beholden to no single nation. You stand as the vanguard for a united Eorzea. From this moment forth, I declare you Crystal Braves. Let us mend this fractured realm and face our enemies as one. Whether it be the Beastmen and their primals, or the conflict in Carteneau, it is plain that the nations of Eorzea cannot solve the problems which plague the realm. Thus does it fall to some few heroic souls to succeed where they have failed. Come, take your place at the Scion's side as guardians of Eorzea, and together we shall fight for the freedom of all! For the freedom of all!
A rousing speech, Alphino. Or should I say, Crystal Brave Commander Leveilleur?
Please, Antecedent. The title is honorary. I shall not be leading the troops into battle, as it were. We are of the same purpose. Let us join hands and do what must be done to save this land.
If only.
The Scions stand ready.
Look, all I'm saying is the people that I recruited, there's only one that I don't trust. Okay?
I'm eager to see what the Crystal Braves might accomplish. This shall prove an interesting time indeed for the Scions.
I trust no one.
Yes, I'm listening.
Real has always been a good one.
So our worst fears are confirmed. The entire Isle. Such power defies comprehension.
The one that was formerly.
Truly? Kryl is alive? Thank the 12. I see. Pray, inform me if her condition changes. Yes, I shall pass on your words to Urianger. My thanks. I shall contact you anon.
I'll kick it over to AR Oldie.
When I learned of the loss of the Isle of Val, I dared not hope that my friend had survived. Yet, by some miracle, it would seem she has. She's still to regain consciousness, it is true, but better that than death. Putting this happy news to one side, we must now endeavor to make sense of the readings taken by the survey party.
They really need to redo the... I don't think they will.
It appears the etheric disturbance which accompanied the Isle's destruction is of a magnitude alarmingly close to that of Ultima. Could the Ascians be responsible for this devastation as well?
As such devastation.
I wonder. Have you heard aught from the Mother Crystal since the battle with the Garleans? Then she speaks to neither one of us. Heidelin's silence portends naught but ill, I fear. Louisoix, I pray you yet watch over us.
To be fair, Heidelin didn't really talk to us much before either. You're like rarely talk to us. But it wasn't like that often. It wasn't like so often to have conversations. So it wouldn't seem like it's the most unnatural thing. Very good. See that the provisions are prepared for transport. Let us hope that this shipment is spared the fate of the last. House for Tom Banner. The winds are uncommonly fierce this day. Keep it lake is way farther. We haven't even gone into Snowcloak yet. Wait, they showed the Archbishop? I have no recollection of this. They showed the old man. It really has been way too long, huh? You think I remember something like that? But I don't. Oh wow. You think something like that I would remember, but I genuinely don't remember that at all. Huh. Crater in the midst. That's not acceptable. Try as I might, I cannot shake a creeping sense of darkness foreboding, but it avails us not to fret about the unknown. We must concentrate instead on the problems of the present. The primals have been relatively quiet of late. The beast tribes who summon them are under constant surveillance by the Grand Companies. Should any suspicious activity be afoot, we may be certain that we will hear of it. And until such time as a permanent solution to the primal problem has been found, we can do little but wait and observe. As for the Ascians, Urianger is wholly dedicated to finding the which may defeat the dark. Let us pray for good tidings on the front. But all of this you knew already. Let us speak of them then of more current matter, in particular the state of the Crystal Braves. Ofno did well to found the organization, but ensuring its smooth operation matter entirely. Though I doubt not that he is doing his best, I felt that a helping hand or not go astray. To this end, I offered to send one of the Archons to assist him, but he declined. You know how he can be independent to a fault, singularly loath to help. Save, of course, when that help comes from me. Alphinaud has entrusted countless matters of importance to care in the past, and I believe he would not hesitate to do so again. Offer. I should be most grateful if you would go to him, support him in whatever manner you're able. Well, we're off to do errands again. I wonder if he says anything. Dispatch the first unit. The second and fourth are to stand by for. Say anything. What is it, Hikaru? And do be concise. I'm rather busy. You would lend a hand, you say? I see. Well, now that you mention it, there is a matter that wants for attention. Given its sensitive nature, I'm hesitant to entrust it to my braves. But the demands upon my time are such that I look. Which is not to say that my men want for labor. But we are but newly formed. There is already great demand for services, and we are hard pressed to answer all petitions. I digress. The fact is, I would sooner attend to this particular matter myself. My presence is required elsewhere. That being the case, I've entrusted its resolution to the second command, Captain Ilbert. Tell him that I sent you and he will furnish you with the particulars. My thanks in advance, Hikaru. A dazzling floral arrangement, each blossom, peerless beauty, brought a blessing and burden overactive. Playing with his knife.
Hail to you, Scion. How might we serve you? Commander Leveilleur bade you serve us? These are welcome tidings indeed. Given the sensitive nature of the task, I could not rely on one of my own.
Man, all I could hear is his line. Whenever he talks.
That which I'm about to tell you, I tell you in the strictest confidence. Some days ago, we received certain documents from an anonymous source. They notified us of the presence of a Garlean agent within the ranks of one of the Grand Companies. Following some discreet inquiries, we identified a suspect among the Immortal Flames, whom we detained for questioning. Alas, the man was not our agent. He was but one of many men in the agent's employ. We pressed the traitor for a name, but he had none to give. He claims never to have met his master, whom he knows only as the Ivy. He was, however, certain that this ivy had coiled itself around every part of the Immortal Flames. It would seem our quarry joined the company some time ago, and gradually recruited others to his cause. These conspirators are the vines by which he learns our secrets, all without exposing himself. It won't be easy to identify the ivy amidst this tangled mass of subterfuge, but we have a tendril in our hands, and we shall follow it all the way to the gnarled root. Now, much as I would prefer to proceed with due discretion, circumstances demand that this matter be settled post-haste. Garlemald's War of Succession nears its end, and it is feared that the Empire will soon resume its march on Eorzea. When it does, we can ill afford to have traitors in our midst. The ivy must be rooted out now. We must begin by apprising General Roban of our findings. I would ask that you accompany me to the Hall of Flames and remain on hand to see that things go smoothly. Assuming the ivy's tendrils are as widespread as we believe, he will be aware that an investigation is underway, and if that is the case, he may well move against us. We must be prepared for anything, while taking care not to betray our purposes by seeming prepared. A simple enough task for a one-woman army like you.
I don't even know who this traitor is. I trying to think the whole time. Like, I don't actually know who it is. Yeah, no, I'm drawing on a blank. I actually don't know who it is. Not this particular.
Well, well. What brings you here, my friend?
She is here at my behest. Greetings, Roban. It has been a while.
Hilbert, you old scoundrel. When they told me you'd be visiting, I scarce believed my ears. But look at you! The honored captain of the Crystal Bloody Braves. Who'd have imagined, eh?
Not many, but fewer still would have imagined your destiny lay in politics, old friend.
Aye. We've both come far, have we not? Lest you wonder, Hilbert and I go back a long way. We've been friends and rivals since we were lads. The last time we saw each other, Alamigo had just fallen, so you can guess how many summers it's been. And in all that time, not a word from the fool.
Ah, well, my dealings tended toward the modest and mundane, unlike some I could mention. As I hear it, no sooner did you reach Thanalan than the brass blades clapped you in irons and dragged you off to die on the blood sands. Being a stubborn sort, you won 1,000 matches and earned yourself a place in the people's hearts while you were about it. Then, with your mountain of prize money, you bought the Colosseum and secured a seat on the Syndicate. Those balls, brother! Rags to riches does not do it justice. You're a hero to the common man.
Pah! Spare me. I am no hero. If anyone is worthy of that title, it's our friend here. Next to her, I'm little more than a glorified butcher. But you, Wilbert, you sell yourself short. By all accounts, you are an adventurer of some standing.
I like to think that I did my part for the greater good. But if you're no hero, then I'm no adventurer, not in this company. Anyway. I have tidings.
So there has been progress. I've let it be known that this meeting is a reunion between old friends. None will give your visit a second thought. To convene elsewhere would only attract attention. Let us speak here, in plain view of all. So it is we who have been compromised. Teleji Adeleji's machinations have shaken Ul'dah to her foundations. In such uncertain times, a man's loyalty may be bought for a fistful of gil. But if this snake has truly been in our midst for as long as you say, we must needs consider a far graver possibility. Conspiracy. Could it be that the monitorists have been in league with the Empire from the first? Very well. I will have my most trusted men investigate the matter. Continue your inquiries in the meantime. It does me well to see you again, old friend. When next we meet, let it be over a flagon of ale.
I look forward to it. Let us reminisce of bygone days, and drink to the future of our homeland. Flame General, you wear the mantle well, old friend. I must work hard if I'm to keep up. Well, it would seem your services were not required after all. I dare say we have Roban's prudence to thank for that. Still, I was glad of your presence. My thanks, Scion.
Oh, we get a lore dump. Cross. Our hunt for the ivy begins in earnest, Ion. Suffice it to say, you must tread warily. For one misstep may well cost us our lives. Our business here is concluded for the time being. Let us return to the Rising Stones and report to Commander. Okay. I like teleport. I need to use the washroom. I'll be right back. Okay. Back to continue. He's moved from that table to this table. Many of my countrymen are skilled with a bow or blade. I made it my mission to rally those with such talents to the Braves' cause. I only hope we can be of some small assistance. From invoices to petitions to it's a war, Hikaru. That desk is my front line and I fear I've been overrun. Art really is adorable. If Higiri and our more skilled culinary worked closely together, I dare say they could create extraordinary dishes to satisfy Eorzean and Domin alike. In traditional Domin cuisine, strive for a perfect balance, not only of flavor and texture, but also of nutrition. For a meal to be truly satisfying, it must nourish the body as well as delight the senses. Not wrong. Where have those younglings disappeared to, making the most of their newfound freedom? No. Are they? Those Azure uniforms are rather striking, but I think I shall remain a Scion for them. These walls have become my home, and the towns my family. Besides, I'm not sure blue is really my color. The green is my cassock. Brings out my eyes, just as Hori's breeches bring out the red in it. Look forward, never back. Devote yourself only to the present. This is what I've learned. Domin. We have returned from Ul'dah, Commander. Not a moment too soon. Something has happened. Trouble. You'll recall that the Fourth was tasked with reconnoitering the rendezvous site used by the Ivy's minion and its Imperial contacts. Soon after you left, we received word that the unit was ambushed en route to its destination. God damn it. According to the report, one of our R's has been taken captive. The Guardians are not wont to treat their foemen with dignity, and I have great fears for her safety. We must dispatch a rescue party at once. Recall those braves to our field. Beg your pardons, Commander, but we have not the time. I'm afraid I must ask for your aid once more, Scion. An ill-prepared rescue party will only serve to provide the Guardians with more captives. Yet time is of the essence. Simply put, you are the best chance we have. Captain Ilbert has a right of it. I trust you are willing. But of course you are. Now, Alian of the Fourth lies in wait of the Tangle, near the entrance of Custom Sentry. Seek her out and she will apprise you of the situation. Oh. Close. Never mind. I thought that was harder. I'm lazy, but I'm not that lazy. I want to walk everywhere, but teleporting there would be a bit too arrogant. You would aid us in the rescue mission. We are in your debt, Warrior of Light. Now time is against us, so allow me to brief you on the situation. The Guardians fell upon us without warning, wounding poor Resh and hauling her away to the castrum yonder. Outnumbered as we were, it was all we could do to flee and regroup. Even as we speak, the Guardians may be interrogating Resh, or worse. With her hurts, I fear she will not long survive their attentions. We must rescue her without delay. Our orders may yet be in its infancy, but the bond that binds us is strong as mithril. None of us will stand by while a comrade suffers. We, the remnants of the Fourth, will infiltrate Castrum Sentry. Please help us find Resh before it's too late. I'm surprised the Castrum is still being used. I guess it wasn't really just a... wasn't just for the 14th Legion. Where am I? Resh, thank the gods we found you. And thank you, Warrior Blight. Now to quit this accursed place. Resh cannot move with those wounds. You'll need to be carried out. I believe a diversion is in order. Will we trouble you to provide one? Given your reputation, I suspect the Guardians will be only too happy to grant you their undivided attention. If we are to create a commotion within the castrum, we should be able to steal away unnoticed. Let us speak again once we are all safely outside these walls. Surprised they have here still. Is the surprising part for me. Here. Full mount. Very. I have no way to cancel this. Oh. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. Damn paralysis. I have awaited your return most anxiously, my friend. You have done us a great service indeed. Thanks to your aid, our comrade Resh is safe. We suffer no further casualties. Words cannot well express my gratitude. All that is left is to report the mission's success to Commander Levier. I shall go on ahead to the Rising Stones. Yeah, I cannot interject that. In fact, no, I haven't interjected. It's a shame. Only tanks and physical have that. It does me well to see you thus returned. Though I doubt not in your prowess, entering an enemy stronghold is generally considered to be a risky venture, and I must confess to have been a trifle anxious. For here you are, hale and whole, having succeeded in your mission, as is your wont. Lest you wonder, the woman you rescued is being cared for by the Domans. Thanks to their expert ministrations, the danger is past. You have my gratitude, Karu. Allow me to thank you also, Scion. Resh also owes you her life. We escaped with minimal casualties this time. We can ill afford to be caught off guard again. The Empire is not an opponent to be trifled with. As you say, Commander, I will see to it that the men keep their wits about them. And it may yet take time, but I will not rest until we have identified and apprehended the Ivy. I have every confidence that you will succeed, Captain. As for you, Hikaru, I realize you have scarce caught your breath. I'm afraid there is no rest for the weary. I require that you accompany me to Kurthus. I have been granted an audience with an Ishgardian dignitary, and the man expressly requested your presence. Oh, do not look so surprised. You should be familiar with the trappings of fame by now. We shall depart as soon as you are ready. We have been blessed with a rare opportunity, Hikaru. An audience with an ambassador of the Holy See of Ishgard. We are to treat with Sir Americ, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights in Camp Dragonhead. It is considered a great honor to serve the Holy See directly as a Temple Knight. Needless to say, their leader wields tremendous political influence. It would be wiser to court his favor. For that reason, I consider your attendance essential. If Sir Americ wishes to meet the woman behind the legend, I will not deny him the pleasure of your company. The antecedent should see the wisdom of this plan when you request her permission to accompany me to Kurthus. Mayhap you feel this to be a waste of your talents, which could doubtlessly be put to nobler use. If so, I shall remind you that more good can be accomplished with the stroke of a pen than the thrust of a sword. Politics. We have to go meet people. Give me one moment. Let me see what the cat's meowing at. I have no idea what he's meowing at. A meeting with an Ishgardian ambassador. By all means, I think it's a wonderful idea. We've received no reports of etheric disturbances or unusual beast tribe activities of late. If Alphonse believes your presence may help him secure more favorable terms, I see no reason to deny him. Antecedent, I take it Hikaru has explained the situation. She has. Yet welcome though these overtures are, I cannot help but wonder what prompted them. The Ishgardians have spurned all contact with the other city-states for decades. Why reach out now? With that I knew. The question of their motives is one to which I have been given no small amount of thought. Alas, I know no more than than is generally known. The notoriously reclusive nation of Ishgard, situated at the center of Abalatia's spine, ruled by the Ishgardian Orthodox Church, at the head of which presides the Archbishop. Members of the original Eorzean alliance formed in the wake of Alamigo's fall some 2 decades ago. Friends of convenience who withdrew from the alliance as soon as the Imperial fleet was routed at the Battle of Silver Terra Skies. Since which time their borders have remained closed to all outsiders. They have rejected every one of their former allies' call to reopen dialogue, turning a deaf ear to their neighbors' pleas even when the calamity loomed large. On the fields of Cartano, where brave men and women laid down their lives in defense of the realm, their banners were conspicuously absent. I've tried to convince Ishgard to rejoin the alliance at every opportunity. I've explained over and over again that unless Eorzea stands united, we cannot hope to preserve our freedom. One by one, our nation will fall, as once fell Alamigo. And what have mine efforts yielded? Why not? Surely this can be considered a step in the right direction. I should hope so. Rather than the lowly messengers we have been bobbed off with in the past, this time we shall meet with a man of genuine influence. Of course, I am not so naive to think that they come to us out of the goodness of their hearts. We have something they desire, but I have yet to find out what. But such is the nature of diplomacy. They will bring their agendas to the negotiating table, and so will I, along with a handful of incontrovertible truths. The Empire will soon be at our doorstep once more. Indeed, you may be assured that I will expound upon this point and others. Let's depart for Camp Dragonhead, Hikaru. Our old friend Lord Horsefont is expecting us. Since our quest to recover the Enterprise, I understand you have further integrated yourself with the man. Ingratiated yourself with the man. Excellent work. His fondness may prove useful to our cause. I don't know how much longer. Oh. Oh. Quite long, I think. Ah, Hikaru, ever a welcome sight. Our hearths have been stroked to blazing in preparation for your arrival. It would not do for such a distinguished personage to catch cold whilst enjoying our hospitality. The gesture is much appreciated. I fear I shall ever struggle in cold climes. Ah, good Master Alphino, an honor as always. Likewise, Lord Horsefont. Forgive us yet another imposition. I fear we have relied overmuch on your aid since you generously assisted us in locating the Enterprise. Nonsense. Any debts incurred have long since been repaid. Besides, who can say what the bring? Osfortom may ever seek the aid of your newly formed Crystal Braves. In any case, I am simply delighted that the Holy See is at last willing to grant you an audience. No doubt your discoveries at Snowcloak helped to justify the decision. Thus, this recent resurgence in heretical activity is of grave concern to us all. But the matter at hand. Sir Emmerich arrived in Camp Dragonhead earlier. I am told he is eager to meet with you and at your first convenience. You are doubtlessly weary from your journey and desirous to rest a while by the warmth of our hearth. But if you are willing to forego such comforts, pray inform the knight stationed outside the intercessory. He will grant you entrance and send word to the other attendees. As inviting as your heart sounds, I think it best we proceed to the intercessory forthwith. Where is it? Oh. We have been expecting you, madam. Pray take your ease inside, and I shall summon the others.
Have faith, my friend. You need only state your case with confidence and clarity.
Oh, I'm not the one talking.
Commander Leveilleur, it is both an honor and a pleasure to meet you. I am Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights.
Alphino Leveilleur, at your service. Your reputation precedes you, Sir Emmerich. I think we will find that we have much in common.
Speaking of reputations, yours towers over us all. Does it not?
It does indeed, Lord Commander.
I am not too proud to admit that I have followed your activities with an interest bordering on fascination. Full glad was I to learn that you would be joining us. Now then, shall we begin?
He stalked us. Not something you often
We know
admit.
full well that the Garleans will return in force ere long. What is more, we have yet to achieve a lasting victory over the primal menace. The beast tribes continue to summon their gods, and each incarnation is stronger than the last. Ishgard is not immune to these threats. I must reiterate that it would behoove your nation to rejoin the Eorzean Alliance.
Once again, I must respectfully disagree.
On what grounds?
Despite their presence in Kurthus, the Ixal do not concern us. Their territorial claims pertain to Gridanian lands, and it is the people of Gridania whom they harry. Consequently, the Holy See judges this to be a Gridanian affair, and Ishgard does not intervene in the internal affairs of other nations. Even were that not the case, our forces are wholly committed to the Dravanian conflict. We have not the knights to spare. As for the Garleans, we are not ignorant of history. We have observed the rise and expansion of the Empire, and we agree that it is only a matter of time before they resume their campaign in Eorzea.
Then surely it would be in our best interests to present a united front.
Mayhap one day, but not yet. Gaius van Belsar is dead, and the legion of conscripts he left behind lacks the will to fight. We think it highly unlikely that they will emerge from behind the walls of their castra for some time.
Forgive me, but if Ishgard's position has not changed, why did you agree to this meeting?
It was not only as a representative of Ishgard that I came here.
Pardon?
It is not within my power to change Ishgardian policy, regardless of my personal feelings. There is, however, one area in which I may exert a measure of influence. Concerns have been raised over the supplies House Fortin has offered to Revenant's Toll. These have led to calls for restrictions on the provision of aid to foreign powers. I can ensure that the shipments continue unabated.
Sir Emmerich, we would be in your debt.
No, you would not, for I require something in exchange. Of late, there has been a flurry of Dravanian activity, the purpose of which was not immediately clear. However, our astrologians have since observed alarming changes in the heavens. The dragon star waxes unnaturally bright, and there are whispers that it portends the resurrection of Midgard-Sorma.
The fallen guardian of Silvertear Falls? That's absurd.
Full many times have I gazed upon the dragon's corpse still wound around the Agrius, and wondered how different our world might be if it yet lived to plague the skies. I do not know, and I do not wish to know, nor does any son of Ishgard. Yet the mere presence of Dravanian forces is not sufficient grounds to send knights to Mordona, whatever our astrologians say. As I told you before, we have not the forces to spare.
But we do. So you will intervene on our behalf if we agree to watch over the Keeper of the Lake.
Do you accept these terms?
I do. I will see that you are kept abreast of any developments. I regret that we could not come to a similar agreement on other matters, but I understand that you are not at liberty to make such decisions. Nevertheless, I hope that what we have accomplished here today will serve to demonstrate to your countrymen that we can work together towards a common goal. Mayhap one day we shall look back on this moment as the first step towards a united Eorzea.
Mayhap we shall, Commander.
What is the meaning of this?
The caravan, my lord. It's been attacked. It was Iceheart, my lord.
What? By the Fury! All our precautions were for naught?
Pick these up just for now. Just when we were starting to make progress. And to make matters worse, the caravan they spoke of was bound for Revenant's Pool of all places. Honestly, were I so inclined, I should think the gods were conspiring against us. Happily, however, I am not. I will know more of this attack. Let us speak with Lord Horchefont and find out what he has learned. Keeper of the Lakes will be a future problem. My sincerest apology for the interruption, my friends, but the situation is such that we must act swiftly. If you would be so kind as to elaborate. Iceheart's heretics fell upon the caravan bound for Revenant's Toll as it was passing through Boulder's Down. It was an ambush, swift and ruthless. In an instant, every knight was slain, every crate seized, and as quickly as they appeared, they were gone. It would be an impossible feat without knowledge of the route, knowledge to which only a select few are privy. Quite. We can pursue that avenue of inquiry in due course. It seems to me that examining the scene of ambush should be our first concern. The trail is yet warm. You must act swiftly, as Lord Worshipon said, lest crucial evidence be lost. You have a knack for discerning hidden truths, Hikaru. Why don't you go and inspect the ambush site in person? An excellent idea. Inform my men of your intent upon your arrival, and they will gladly share their findings. Super town. Damn, they were just about to leave Kerfus too, huh? They got hit right before. Move along, adventurer. There's nothing for... Lord Horshavan bids you to speak with us. And you must be... Beg your pardon, Scion. As you can see, they left an area crate behind. Tipped the wagon for good measure. Whole thing's a bit odd, if you ask me. Wouldn't it have been easier to just steal it? Though a damn sight harder to conceal it, I allow. Reckon they came prepared. Probably with wagons of their own, hidden away off. But pay no heed to my ramblings. Absent of proof, 'tis not but speculation. Might be as the squire receiving care at the observatorium could tell you something more factual. That is, if he's awake. Unlike myself, he was there during the attack. Not that his presence amounted. What do you mean? His presence required them to hit him once. I'm assuming he took one hit. That counted for like a second, surely. Oh. You've come to ask about the attack, haven't you? We came upon them before the entrance to the Hall of the Seven Echoes. Pilgrims, we marked them as, lost and ill-equipped for a journey further north. Our leader called out to them, and one stepped forward to answer. Slowly she approached, her silver hair flowing in the melting snow. Just a young girl, I thought. Some poor lost knight, search for salvation. Our leader must have thought the same. Else why would he let her draw so close? They exchanged some words, couldn't hear, and she leaned forward as if to kiss his cheek. Then he sighed and crumpled to the ground. I didn't know what had happened, but I saw the snow turn red. And then there was red everywhere I looked. I tried to fight, but took a blow to the head. By the time I came to, the others were dead and the heretics were unloading the wagon. Couldn't mean they'd have killed me. I just lay still and listened. Iceheart's people spoke of deliverance and resurrection, and they spoke of Shiva. Shiva is now meant. Oh, it's off no inside. Ah, you've returned. What news have you for... It seems that the Lady Iceheart does not scruple to sully her hands with blood. Who is this Shiva the heretic spoke of? Have you not read a single line of the and Chiridion, Master Alphano. Shiva was a traitor to kith and kin, an apostate who lay down with dragons. Now, we cannot expect all foreigners to know Ishgardian scripture so well, particularly when it concerns a patron saint of heretics. Wait, you say she is the patron saint? Oh no, it all makes sense now. Lord Horshapon, what was the caravan's cargo? As I recall correctly, the Diamond Forger requested a rather large quantity of crystals. Do you not see? Iceheart and her followers intend to summon Shiva as a beast tribe with primal. Why else would they go to such length to secure crystals? I shall inform the Lord Commander at once. Lord Horshapon, you would agree that that discretion is of paramount concern. Of course. I trust we can count on your continued support, Master Alphano. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are sworn to combat the primal threat. Our support is a given. I will need to send word to my brethren and reverends. Our entire order must turn its effort to the prevention of this summoning. Naturally, that includes you, though I'm sure you would not miss this for the world. The persistent attacks on our caravans seemed little more than a nuisance at first. The heretics were a problem, to be sure, a relatively minor one. That was before I discerned the purpose behind our attacks. Of course, now they have my undivided attention. After apprising Minfilia of the situation, I shall summon a unit of Crystal Braves to assist us. As for you, Hikaru, pray join me in White Brim front. Since the incident at Snowcloak, the Knights of House Durandare have redoubled their reconnaissance efforts in the region. It is my hope that they have information which may help us to determine precisely where the heretics are hiding. Given our mutual enemy, Lord Dromont should be eager to oblige us. I shall see you there then. Good. We got nothing else? No. I don't know how our mount ever fits that door. Scions of the Seventh Dawn wish to join in the hunt for Iceheart. Your assistance is more than welcome, my friends. Considering the report I just received, I dare say your timing could be no better. We are all ears, Lord Dromont. A band of pilgrims was seen transporting a large number of crates to the west. Their garbs appear to match the description provided by the squire who survived the attack. Alas, our scouts lost track of them at Snowcloak, that self-same frozen wall which we speculated might conceal the heretics' hideaway. Suffice it to say, the disappearance of these pilgrims, their provisions, all but confirm our suspicions. I've heard enough. My knights will join the hunt. I took the liberty of summoning a unit of Crystal Braves to White Brim front. Given the gravity of the situation, Joshua agreed that we must use every resource available to us. These are extraordinary circumstances, Commander. It would be in our best interest to coordinate our efforts. Such was my intent from the start, Sir Amerk. And so it begins, my friend. So I dare say it will prove an all too brief collaboration. Iceheart will not elude the combined forces of the Crystal Braves and the Temple Knights for long. Nevertheless, a wise man does not wager all upon the success of a single solution. There may yet be a subtler means by which we can locate the heretic's lair. Mayhap Lord Dromont has one in mind. Yes, yes. Excellent. My lady, everything has been accounted for. If there is aught else you would have us do, pray speak and it shall be done. We never learn her name. Some still think these heretics now pose a great threat. The slain House Forcombe knights would surely beg to differ. It seems as though we are always one step behind, our quarry ever just beyond our reach. I would like to believe that the tables are about to turn. Must confess to having certain doubts. A joint effort may succeed where others have failed, but could yet yield the self-same result. Fortunately, we are not without other options. I trust you haven't forgotten Inquisitor Guillemine. We have not. The mystery of how the heretic remained undiscovered for so long has been much in our thoughts, as has the question of what steps might be taken to prevent similar breach in the future. Accordingly, we conducted an exhaustive and covert evaluation of everyone in Whitebrim Front. Though some were found to have committed certain minor transgressions, we identified only one possible heretic. If this man has pledged himself to Iceheart's cause, he will have taken note of the movements of the Temple Knights and the Crystal Braves, and upon recognizing their intent, he may attempt to warn the heretics. The man's watch is to end soon, at which point he must report to Sir John Tremont in the yard. I would have you keep an eye on him. If he ventures beyond the walls, follow him discreetly. Did he meet with a heretic, do not interfere. Simply watch and I have seen to it that the suspect knows nothing which can endanger our plans. Where's the guy he was supposed to talk to? The suspected heretic leaves to the southwest gate. The suspected heretic follows the road east. I see they take this idea and expand on it. The suspected heretic heads south. Although it's very relevant to tell us what direction it goes when we got this marker that keeps updating. But you know, I appreciate it continuing this. Hey, hey, where in the seven hells are you? Raising my bollocks off here. I'm here, you blundering oaf. Why are you late? Standing on the wall, why else? I have duties to fulfill, you know. Your sole duty is to bloody echo. Lower your voice, or they'll hear us in white firm front. Yes, of course. Temple Knights are in Snowcloak. This is what you bring me? We already knew about our comrades in Boulder Downs will use the tunnels. Dead before they know what's happening. Nevertheless, waste my time again, is that clear? Oh. That's not the intro. Well, did your investigation bear fruit? Well, yes. I see. I shall have the man detained at once. His guilt is plain. With that, you could have heard their words more clearly. Yet the few snatches you were able to make out are nonetheless unlikely. It would seem the heretics are aware of our operation, and confident they can thwart it. Their comrades in Boulder Downs are a key to their plans, which means it is a key to our plans that they be rooted out and put to the sword. We have long suspected that the heretics use a network of secret tunnels to traverse the Highlands undetected. Given what you overheard, I fear that Snowcloak may be riddled with such passageways, and that the heretics in Boulder Downs are planning to use them to take our force unawares. Needless to say, we cannot allow that to happen. A contingent of House Durandar Knights are on patrol in the area, and I shall order them to begin searching for the heretics at once. But knowing nothing of our enemy's numbers or readiness, I cannot say for sure that they will be sufficient. It will put my mind to ease if you consent to assist my knights with the search. I know they would take courage from the presence of so storied a warrior. Pray rendezvous with them at Boulder's Gate. If Halone is kind, we may catch these heretics before their plans come to fruition. Show them no mercy, Hikaru. The lives of our allies are at stake. God. That's hard to say. Doesn't help Cruise Chase with such a big mount. It was extremely hard to say. The knights are dead. You know, it's no wonder they don't have any progress against the War of the Dragons. They kind of just fall over to every heretic. I don't know if they've ever killed one, now that I think about it. I feel like we're the only one that kills heretics. My knights sent no words of your coming, Hikaru. What has happened? What is that in your hand? Pride of Fury. Those were veterans with years of service. And now they lie dead in the snow. Their bodies must be recovered. No. We have not the men to spare. Not now. Not while Iceheart prepares to summon an abomination. The heretics you dispatched were not sufficient to contend with the combined strength of the Temple Knights and the Crystal Braves. There must be others. Now wager they are on their way to Snow Cloak as well. To make matters worse, it seems the traitor you followed managed to pass the heretics something of value out. The parchment you covered is a timetable of the guardsmen's watches at our outpost in the traitor was stationed there long before he aroused our suspicions. Would that we had caught him sooner. With this information, the heretics would know when the watch was weak. They could use their tunnels with impunity and prepare their end. The timetable has not changed. Of course, it will be changed now. Heretics may already be in position. Our Stern there must send reinforcements, even if it means withdrawing knights from the stone visual. We can see no other way to safeguard the lives of our allies. Time is of the essence, Hikaru. When my knights make ready to depart, the heretics may take our allies in Snowcloak unawares. Superior training and equipment will avail them not if they are cut down ere their swords are drawn. But all is not lost yet. If you leave now, there may still be time to warn them. Make haste, I beseech you. Fly to Snowcloak and tell Sir Americ everything we have discovered. God, giant mountain. Make it very, very hard to see anything. Hikaru, this is a welcome surprise. Perhaps the only one thus far. As you can see, we have yet to uncover any hidden. You have my gratitude. Truth be told, we suspected the heretics might be plotting such an attack. Now that I have confirmation, I shall place my knights on high alert. Has Commander Levier been informed? The Braves must be making her. Where's he even? Oh. It must be here. I'm certain of it. Why else would they go to such lengths to defend Snowcloak? It is but a pity this discovery comes when our enemy has us at such a distance. Forewarned though we be, the heretics know the terrain far better than we. I dare not think how many are watching us at this very moment. Confounded. This is all wrong. Iceheart has us scrambling to save our own skins when we should rightly be straining every sinew to find her and stop this damnable summoning. There she is. Come here, girl. That was close. They didn't hurt you, did they? Only my pride, Ida. There will be others nearby. You must see that they are given a similarly warm welcome. Commander Levier. There's been a development, sir. Together with the Temple Knights, we have secured entrance to some half-dozen tunnels. After spying the enemy breaking the surface, but that is not all, sir. We think that one of them may be important. Certainly, the heretics near flung themselves upon our swords and it. Aha! Just as I suspected. Amongst this warren of tunnel lies the entrance to Iceheart's lair. Summon the others. We're going in. A moment, Afano. The tunnel in question is barely wide enough for 2 men abreast. We cannot say with any certainty where it leads, much less what is waiting for us there. Furthermore, we have no way of knowing how many heretics are still lurking here on the surface, or if they were to converge on this point after we enter the tunnel. For all we know, we could be funneling our forces into a trap. I take your point. The tunnel is as narrow as you say. Greater numbers would be more of a hindrance. Help. If we encounter difficulty, our allies would become an obstacle to escape. Ahem. Change of plans. While we rendezvous with Sir Amaric and keep the heretics at bay here, we will go wherever that tunnel leads. If you find Iceheart at the end of it, do not let her escape. You venture into the unknown, so see that you are prepared for anything. I suggest you call upon your allies, but not too many or Papalemo folk. Entrance to the tunnel, madam. It's just over here. Had we not seen the heretics breaking the surface, we could never have noticed it. Per Sir Amaric's orders, we will stand guard outside. Please be aware that even should you encounter significant resistance, do not leave our post. That's fine. Well, off the snow cloak. I believe at this level it's so better to yeah, it is. Better to AoE than use to. It's not the case of maybe. But I don't remember where. It's probably during the 80 balance, I assume. Somewhere in the balance. Or 90. surprised you can even handle attacks. I don't have my AoE, do I? What is this anyway? 52. A bit lazy to press and scatter on my normal hotline. By far. My second hotbar is on control. That's control 7. Well, I'm not averse to click it. Not something I like. Use your idol. Lessen the damage of magical and raid wide abilities. Almost all raid wise are magical damage anyway. Helps you live and it helps your healing. What did that much burst? Alright, I forgot that you don't actually get... Alright, you don't get gear here. Goobo did indeed come out of a snowball. Ow. I like Snowcloak's dungeon music. I actually never played. Okay. I've only played one other Final Fantasy game. I had 16. Never played anything else. 14 was the first Final Fantasy game I ever played. And after that, I played 16 when it came out recently. And that's the only other Final Fantasy game I've ever played. I do listen to a fair bit of Final Fantasy. But usually just like the very more well-known ones. I like all of them. Ow. Why's my swiftcast so late? Oh, I know why. Acceleration is in pure 60. That's why. $55. Like reassembles problem. Not a pure 60 cooldown like Swiftcast is. So it naturally will be ahead of your Swiftcast 5. I still treat it like it's a minute, but Rocky does a knockoff. Press system has been made have good AI. They won't get hit on mechanics, but on purpose. Eh. Not like the old trust system, or just old AI system. Some have a, what's it called? An exception to the rule. But most of the time, the trusts are pretty good indications of what will come next. But they don't adjust for you either. Keep that in mind. Or to just walk beside the Marauder or whatever, he wouldn't move out. I got bottom chests. These are... Those chests are redeemed in Jonah, I think? Something like that. It works exactly. You don't remember that my AoE actually cicadas on targets. I often forget. I'm too ingrained to use Jolt on 2 targets rather than my actual for over Thunder. Ow. Capra White Final Fantasy 13. Wonder if there's an orchestra role for that piece. For the Final Fantasy 13 one or for Snowcloak? There's one for Snowcloak. Guarantee you that one. But for the 13 one, not quite sure. Yeah, Snowcloak there. 100%. Ow, 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 ow. Stop. Because I've 100% heard Snowcloak in houses. I don't quite remember if I have it or not, but I do know it is restaurant roll. Right. Yeah, a long time. Give me your finger. Door to Oblivion. There is a right shard. And rare. Surely you'll... Half idle up. Fortunate. This boss is going really slow. Forgot to use LP. Oh well. Yeah, there's 8, right?
The tales do not do you justice, warrior of light. Yes, I know who you are, and you know who I am. I was given the name Izel, but I earned the name Iceheart. This endless cycle of hatred, of bloodshed, of sorrow. You would see it continue, O noble warrior of light.
Everyone's voice is changed from AR to Heavensward. All the voices have changed.
I would not. I will not. I will bring an end to this war between dragon and man, no matter the cost. In time, you will come to understand that what we do for the greater good. For Eorzea, for Hydaelyn.
That took longer than expected. What news, Hikaru? So Iceheart is but a pseudonym. Not that it matters. That she managed to escape is regrettable. But for your description of that beast, you did well to come as close as you did. In any case, now that you have cleared a path, Temple Knights can begin to survey the tunnels in earnest. Mayhap they will even find a route past the ice wall. Wouldn't that do wonders for the fight against the heretics? Crystal Braves would certainly share the credit for it too. 12 be praised, Hikaru. We may yet turn the situation to our advantage. Assuming we stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva, of course. Needless to say, our fellow Scions have not been idle. Minfilia and Urianger have been busy perusing the archives of House Fortom, gathering what information they can on Shiva. Which reminds me, if you were intending to trudge back to Camp Dragonhead to report on the day's event, don't. The antecedent should be here any minute. I can only assume some people enjoy subjecting themselves to this cold. Why don't you wear warmer clothes, Alphina? See, Minfilia wore warmer clothes. Antecedent, he come to us straight from the archives of House Fortom. I trust your time there proved fruitful. With that it had. Urianger and I scoured countless texts. What we found was of questionable veracity. Accounts of Shiva's life and deeds are sparse and contradictory, only agreeing upon one point. She laid down with a dragon, the gravest sin of all sins, according to the Ishgardian faith. Yet, in the eyes of Iceheart's followers, this was a holy act, the blessed union of a man and a dragon. How such a thing could even be possible is quite another question. Suffice it to say, I very much doubt that we will find a useful answer in the archives of House Fortom. Much knowledge has been lost over the centuries, though in this case, one wonders if it is by circumstance or design. You said that Iceheart took a moment to plead her case prior to escaping, did you not? Viewed without prejudice, most would agree that bringing an end to an endless it serves the greater good. I think Sir Emmerich might take issue with her methods. I do not care if a few stragglers manage to escape. Until the sappers confirm that the tunnel is safe, the men are not to search it. Yes, Lord. You pursue your foes with less zeal than I expected, Sir Emmerich. Lest you misunderstand, I did not deny that our enemy has given us good reason to be prudent. I merely meant you being a man of faith. I had expected a certain single-mindedness. After all, was it not by the will of Halone that your ancestors came to this land? Why they took up arms against the Gervanians? What would they have done in your position, I wonder? There are those who believe that faith is a renunciation of free will, that unquestioning devotion is required of all who would live a life in service to the Fury. Such righteous fervor may well serve a knight on the front line, less so a leader of men. We are all at the liberty to interpret the scriptures as we I choose to believe that the Fury would value the lives of her followers over the deaths of her enemies. But I would not presume to speak for the Knight Eld. It was a different time, nay, a different era. The scriptures tell us only so much. Would that it told us more. That man is awfully pragmatic for a servant of the Holy See. A welcome trait at the negotiating table. Less so when one's enemy are making ready to harness the power of a god. Mayhap he does not truly believe that Iceheart's plan can succeed. Truth be told, I too remain somewhat skeptical. Shiva was real, a living, breathing woman. Of that there can be no doubt. In this respect, she differs from every other figure to have been summoned, each of whom was worshipped as a god. The sole exception being good King Mughal 12, the myth made manifest in response to fervent supplication of the Mughals guard. Saint Shiva may differ, but what of the heretics? They are a tribe of outcasts at war with a mighty nation, who yearn for the resurrection of the one who embodied their beliefs. That is not placing one's faith in a higher power, then what is? Crystals and conviction, Ophelia. They have them both in abundance. Can that truly be all that is required? My survey team has concluded a preliminary analysis of the Aetheryte Iceheart used to escape. They believe that she teleported to another Aetheryte, somewhere not far to the west. Despite the apparent proximity of the second Aetheryte, however, they have been wholly unable to detect its presence directly. Unless Iceheart has some means to mask its signal, I can only presume she had destroyed it to prevent us from following her. Without the means to teleport as she did, we have no choice but to search an alternative. Most likely a tunnel, assuming one exists. Let's not give up on the teleportation just yet. One of our colleagues in Charlian may be able to assist us. I pray that you are right. I dare not think how long it will take us to survey the entire tunnel system. While Minfilia looks into our Aetheryte problem, I would like to request your assistance with another matter. The third unit is currently tracking the remnants of a heretic force which attacked us. However, the search goes poorly despite our numbers. Arthas is vast, and Iceheart's follower know the terrain far better than we. Your knowledge of this region may serve to hasten the process. The sooner we capture Iceheart's followers, the sooner we can press them for their leader's whereabouts. Also, though it is immediately selfish request, I feel that my braves would benefit immensely from working alongside you. While we have our share of veterans, we also have more than a few less experienced recruits, many of whom look up to you, in case you are not aware. Good, I knew you would understand. Haze can apprise you of the details. When the task is complete, come and find me at the observatorium. Captain Ilbert and I are meeting there to discuss the latest developments in his investigation. The Temple Knights shall hold Snowcloak in our absence. Let's leave them to their work. Ours is more pressing. There you are, Hikaru. Commander Levier instructed me to wait for you. Your assistance is most welcome, believe me. Most of the third hail from Ul'dah, and for a man accustomed to feel the sand beneath his boots, the crunch of snow can be rather disconcerting. But to the matter at hand. Nary a moment ago, I received a word that the heretics we seek have been spotted making for Danif Pass. Our braves are already in pursuit, and I should be grateful if you join them. I myself shall be taking part in the hunt. Never let it be said that I do not earn my... Can't really sell these. I'm kind of lazy to go to merch. Balls. My ankles is on fire. I put my boot on a rock or something and I twisted as I fell. The others went on ahead through Danif Pass. Danifin Pass. Hearing you might catch up. If you're unsure where to go, look for tracks. The snow is fresh, so they shouldn't be hard to find. Are there actually tracks? They're not even tracks. A boss fate. Gives you an achievement when you kill it. You also cannot solo it. Even for Chocobo. Much damage. Nor our tanks at this level will be able to be self-sufficient like they are in later levels. Tracks lead south. Dion, what are you doing here? Heretics? I'm not sure. There's a great scaled beast and you, Haze? I think he went east on his own. The heretics split up, so we did too. How embarrassing. I was so intent on following the heretics' tracks that I almost failed to notice they had doubled back. Almost, mind you. One tried to sneak up behind me and got a knife in my gut for his troubles. Or knife in his gut for his troubles. I thought myself alone, so I started searching the dead man's knapsack for anything of interest. And lo behold, before his friends found me, I came upon this. Withdraw into groups of 3 or less to the observatorium. Give the signal and wait. The merchant will be watching. Be late and be left for dead. Speaks for itself, does it not? It can't possibly mean to rendezvous inside the place, so we should restrict our search to surrounding areas. Let me rephrase this. Let me rephrase that. You should restrict your search to the wilderness around the observatorium. I will need more than a moment's rest to recover from these wounds. Does always fall to us to do. I am through with listening to your excuses. We leave now. How? The woods are crawling with those blue coats, and the knights are searching every wagon that passes through the gates. Well, stay with her, then, if you think you'll fare any better. No, there's no need for that. There are places like this in my homeland. Sacred snow-capped peaks where blood must not be shed. Did your lands ever thirst for blood of the fallen? In your deeds, it has drunk deep. No, I've done no wrong. None but meet in secret with heretics. Deny it all you will, we shall have the truth from you. Inquisitors are not the only ones skilled in the art of interrogation. They have it all. Fancy meeting you here, Hikaru. I presume your work with the third brought you hither. What a tangled web, lest you wonder. We came not for the heretics, but for a merchant who has been conspiring with them. He came to our attention during the course of our investigation into the Ivy. It beggars belief, I know, but it seems our favorite Garlean spy may have been providing assistance to Iceheart. Were it not for the efforts of Lady Yugiri and her shinobi, we might never have discovered this connection. Master Alphino is too kind. Kramer people and I have done little to aid your search for the spy. We long to strike back against the Empire and weaken their influence in this land, to prevent the tragedy which befell Doma from recurring. The days ahead and the work they promise will require a very particular set of skills. Skills which I am fortunate enough to possess, if you will allow it. I would accompany you until the investigation is complete. That is a most generous offer, Yuri, and the one I would gladly accept. Thank you, though I may disappear for a time, know that I shall never be far, and shall always be watching. A comforting thought. Come, Hikaru. Let us wait inside for Captain Elbert to return and deliver his report. We're not inside at all. Captain Ilbert seemed confident that the merchant's resolve would swiftly crumble when pressed. If so, we should have new information ere long. As to whether it will bring us any closer to learning the Ivy's identity, I would rather not say. Given our adversary's cunning, I shall consider us fortunate if we are spared another wild dodo chase. The gods know we have more than enough to occupy our time as Once I get to a sanctuary, I'm gonna probably end it. I have worked. Captain Elbert, your reports, if you will. Aye, Commander. Firstly, with regard to the heretic we captured, I regret to say that the man could tell us naught that we did not already know of Shiva. We have since handed him over to Ishgardian authorities. Henceforth, the Holy See will pursue the matter independently. Our inquiries concerning the Ivy, however, have proven more fruitful. We have ascertained the channel by which the heretics acquired the information on the shipment route. Go on. You recall the flame we first identified as being the Ivy's employee. From him, we were able to trace a trail of conspirators, each taking us closer to his master. Alas, the trail came to an abrupt end. Fearing that the investigation has been compromised, we took the necessary step of detaining all suspected of conspiracy. There are 5 on our list, including a flame station at Revenant's. The man's primary duty was to keep an inventory of donations abroad, the particulars of which he would share with benefactors, thereby ensuring that needs did not go unfulfilled. By virtue of his role, he was privy to the details of all shipments bound for the settlement. Needless to say, that included those originating from House Fortomp. He knew the precise route the caravan would take, and he sold that information to a merchant. I think I can guess which one. None other. With a little encouragement, he will soon confess to knowingly aiding and abetting with heretics. Well, that is one mystery solved, at least. But what of the Ivy? Are we any closer to prizing off his mask? I dare say we are, Commander. Our relentless pursuit has forced him to commit a grave error. In a desperate bid to cover his track, the Ivy resorted to exercising certain administrative powers, only available to high-ranking members of the Immortal Flames. If you consider then that our investigation is known to barely a handful of them, the field of suspects is greatly narrowed. You mean to say the agent is among Vauban's innermost circle, someone who has been with him since the Immortal Flames establishment? This is the most plausible explanation. The infiltration likely occurred during the company's founding, the groundwork for the act being laid beforehand. To slip into a position of authority unremarked, and remain above suspicion all these years. I too was surprised, though I really should not have been. Of all 3 grand companies, Ul'dah's have ever been more vulnerable to infiltration. Both Limsa and Gridania have long-standing armed forces that lent themselves well to the formation of Maelstrom and the Order of the Twin Adder. For all intents and purposes, it was the same people, loyal ones, mine, under the same leadership, only the banner was different. Not so the Flames. Ul'dah's military was made up of disparate orders, most of which were glorified mercenary companies entered only to their own paymaster. Hardly an ideal environment in which to establish something as high-minded as a grand company. The difficulties Vauban faced when founding the Immortal Flames are well known. Even after he had convinced his fellow syndicate members to share the cost, there remained the small matter of finding enough bodies to fill the ranks. Indeed, and given the pressing nature of the Imperial threat, that meant recruiting every passing sellsword. Amidst the chaos of its founding, it would have been child's play to infiltrate the company. A good deal easier than now. Aye. The mortal flames have ever been caught between conflicting interests, the public and the private. Though the monarchists ultimately agreed to support the organization's founding, it was not out of charity that they did so, but simply self-preservation. Had Neil van Dardis' ambition been less apocalyptic, you may be sure that they would have never risked supplying Raban with an army. It is but a wonder they did not attempt to extinguish the flames the moment the danger had passed. Returning to the present. Even as we speak, our Doman allies are shadowing several high-ranking flames. Any one of them could be the Ivy. Desiring to deal a blow against Empire, the refugees were eager to lend us their aid. I expect to hear from them ere long. Very good. Pray continue your investigation with the first. Meanwhile, the second attend to the unrest. Third can join the fourth, affecting crystal shipments. They notice anything unusual, I want to know about it. If Shiva is summoned in like matter to the other primals, the heretics will be looking for further supplies. Understood, Commander. I shall send word to Sir Americ informing him our success in identifying the heretics' abettors. Hopefully the information will be of some use to the Ishgardians. It is time, Commander. Yes, I'm aware. An emergency council of the Alliance leadership has been called. There have been developments in Garlemald. As commander of the Crystal Braves, my presence has been requested. I would have you accompany me. As a realm's stoutest champion, this only meet that you present for the discussion. Oh, and the anti-student has already given her consent, lest you worry. Like me, you are doubtlessly eager to conclude our business with Iceheart. But until another path to our sanctum is found, we remain beyond. Minfilia and the Archons are sparing no effort to secure an alternate route. Until such time as they succeed, I suggest we give some thought to the realm's other problems. I shall go on ahead to Gridania, in readiness for the coming council. Meet me at Nafuka's altar, and we shall make our way to the Lotus Stand together. Okay, well, as I mentioned, once we get to the sanctuary, I'll just stop there. I'll also have to do a job quest. I'll do that later. Oh yeah, that will be all. Thank you for stopping by and watching. And have a good rest of your day, wherever you are. Bye-bye.